Okay, guys, round two. We have our moderators downstairs this time, so I'm going to get an okay from them that you can hear me real fast. And then I'm going to do our pop-out chat because we got to be able to see you guys while we're doing this. I mean, it doesn't make sense to not be able to see our peeps. So I'm popping out the chat until I get the thumbs up from our moderator that everything is okay with my sound, because my sound looks like it's pumping in right now. Rachel, I got sound? Wow, okay. All right, we got sound. We got pop-out chat. So, hey guys, guess what? Let's do a early morning live dive on the rock.
No sound, bro.
And I love this.
No sound on the music.
No sound on the music. Okay,
Yeah.
that's okay. We expect that to happen. Let me refresh my sound driver. I was just sitting here dancing to nothing. You guys like watching me do this? There's no sound and I'm just sitting here doing this. That's okay.
I can hear Darkwolf.
We can hear Darkwolf now, so that helps. Let me refresh our stereo input. Okay, listen for me, Rachel, because here it comes one more time, and I'm going to try to refresh a driver if it doesn't work. Okay, Darkwolf, you got a lot of background noise, and okay, here we go. Let me test this out.
And then you turn your mic off. And
I know. I'm not. I was talking about the system sound, like the music.
yeah, as soon as you turn the mic off, it stopped, and then.
Okay. All right. Well, I know that's meant to be like that. Hold on, guys. Checking. Bet we're good now. Hold on.
There it goes.
I know. I heard it. Okay. Ready? Are you ready? It's time to rewind. Play. Hey guys, welcome. We're going to try this early morning live dive on the rock. We're not going to have any sound issues, and this is going to work really good. Here we go. I love this intro. Let's play it. Oh, you guys are troopers. Okay, and I love this intro so much that we're going to do this right now. We're going to roll it, we're going to rock it, and you know we're going to talk about it today with Darkwolf on the rock. I've got one more itty-bitty clip to play for you while we make sure our modulator is modulating and we get ready for this early morning news update live dive stuff. Let's roll it. Let's rock it. And let's talk about it on the early morning live dive.
the garden. You have the passion of an alien character in your eyes. I have feelings for you, the fear of 1,000 bathrooms. Platypus that lives in my head says you're the perfect size. I am about to show you my sensitive side.
We've taken one trip down to Antarctica. Okay, guys, we're actually going to test our sound effects too, because with all these issues, I don't know if they're going to work. They're a little low. I noticed that. It's probably just my mixer. That's okay. I've got this stuff getting fixed.
Source.
My audio.
Source.
You can hear my audio.
Source.
Okay. All right. So let me do this also one more time. We've got Darkwolf, the wolf himself, wolfing it up over there. Let's see if we can hear him. And Rachel, let me know. Unmute yourself, buddy. Let me know if I can hear Darkwolf, Rachel. How you doing, Darkwolf?
I'm doing wonderful this morning, bub. How you doing?
Doing great. Tell the folks where to find you and what we're going to get into for about 10 seconds. Go ahead.
All right. Great to be here, everybody. Fellow Rockinats, I'm so glad I made it back here. We've had some technical issues lately. We've been doing a lot of research. We're about to bring you some stuff today that's really going to be intriguing as all get out. So I hope you guys learn something. I hope we learn something like always, and ready to have a great show.
Oh, yep, that's right, buddy. I'm telling the Rockinauts right now how Rockinatic they are for hanging out through this and getting through these tests. We're not, and we aren't one of those channels that gets by without having issues sometimes. Every live streaming channel has issues sometimes. We're no different. When you're working with 47 different software programs running at once on a supercomputer, you're going to have these problems. Now, we got to do what we got to do, which is talk to you. So let's see who's here. Dr. Michael Miller, PhD, was first. That's right, he was. Stariana's back. Let me slide on down and see who else is here. Rusty's in the house. Wake Up News. Wake Up News woke up. That's right. I had video deleted by user. That was me. Oh, sorry. All right, guys. So we've got some people here for the early morning live dive. We've never tried to do this before. And I fell asleep right before we were going to do the second live dive of last night because I'm lazy like that. Sometimes I just kind of pass out, you know? Yeah, Darkwolf, I've been getting lazy.
It happens from time to time, bub. I completely understand, but it actually gave me some time to do a lot of research and get some stuff done. So, you know, we had to skip it, but that's okay because what we got to talk about tonight wouldn't have been possible if we didn't have the time to research it.
That's right. And Wake Up News said it best. We're all here now. That's the main thing. And that's very true. So we're going to hit you with a news story that I have to bring you guys today. Chris Cornell, lead singer for Soundgarden and another band that I really like that I can't think of the name of right now. Wait, there it is. Audio Slave. Audio Slave? Yeah.
Yep.
Soundgarden and Audio Slave passed away. Now, Uni wouldn't really be bringing you the... What, Rachel? Rachel? We good? Oh, I thought you were yelling down at me. Never mind, guys. I thought Rachel was yelling at me. I want to make sure when she yells, I pay attention because the sound could go out at any time. No, I'm just playing. Now, there is a little bit of conspiracy with Chris Cornell's death, and it just happened. And when I first saw the conspiracy related to the death, I immediately thought to myself, okay, this doesn't make sense. Are they trying to just make news for us to watch? Soundgarden singer Chris Cornell's death being investigated as a suicide reported by Variety. Now, that's the only source that is giving me that. But I think it's really notable to look at the tweets coming out on the twit. So Rolling Stone, at Rolling Stone, says a week before Chris Cornell's death, Cameron Crowe told us how he contributed to the Singles soundtrack. The New York Times, at NY Times, says Chris Cornell's death was sudden and unexpected, his representative said. At Scalzi says, hearing that Rogers Allies has died, what does that have to do with it? Oh, here we go. Reminds me that I'm very sad about Chris Cornell right now. I don't know what that means. At AP says rocker Chris Cornell has died at 52 and police say his death is being investigated as a possible suicide. Now, this is from AP Entertainment, and Variety was the other source. Now, I'm starting to see some similarities between Variety reporting it and AP Entertainment reporting it as possible suicide, but not the major news channels. What do you think, Dark Wolf? Do you think this could be a little conspiracy, or could this just be publicity? What do you think?
It sounds a little conspiratorial to me. I mean, if it was a suicide or being investigated as that, why wouldn't all the channels hold out, put out the news story and give all the details and information?
Very true. You know what, though? There is a little bit of disrespect bouncing around on the internet because Value Trap at Value Trap 13 says, damn it, Chris Cornell died. I guess that kind of conveys how you would feel about Chris Cornell dying, but can't we think of anything better to put in a text about a man's death than damn it? That's what I ask myself when I see things like this. This is a little better. At Punk News, which I like. I'm gonna have to check this page out. I've never heard of At Punk News. It says in memoriam, Chris Cornell has passed away, and they offer a link to a memoriam site for him, which I think is a more respectable way of handling a tweet.
Well, I love that they put those two right next to each other, because you can look at those two tweets together and go, now, wait a minute. This one sounds like they actually mean what they're saying. This one just sounds, I don't even know the word for it that I can use on here.
No, that's okay, bro. And you're right. You're right, though. And I'm glad you brought that up. That's an excellent point. I don't know how much more I want to go into this right now. I'm going to see. I'm going to do maybe a video because I like Chris Cornell. He was on a label called Sub. Bam, let me mute that because I don't want to get a ABC News copyright infringement again for the 2017th time. Yeah, I'd like to do a video on this, but I want to wait and see what happens. Chris Cornell was on a label called Sub Pop when he first started. That was Soundgarden's label. They didn't own it, but they were on it. And Sub Pop brought everybody a lot of really good bands from the Seattle area in the 90s. And that's how I was exposed to Chris Cornell back in the day. He's got some really good songs, man. I would play one right now if YouTube wouldn't hit me for it. And it's really upsets me. I would go into a whole segment on copyright issues, but I'm not going to because I've done it too much lately. It's really bad. Since the YouTube came out of the ad crash, we're all a lot happier because we're making revenue again. A little bit, but we're making it. The problem is that copyright infringement has been increased significantly because it helps deal with the other problems that were affecting YouTube that caused the crash. It's one way to add security. When the infringement happens, they get to review more videos and say to themselves, will these cause advertising problems? Now, I will say this. I'm being hit for copyright infringement on stuff that I should not be hit for. And I'm hoping, before I throw a hit fit, I'm going to wait for YouTube to respond to me, because I will tell you a very disturbing thing, and then I'll get off this subject that happened to me yesterday. I did a live stream, and it was a long one. And I had a lot of views and a lot of watch time, and a lot of ads ran. I didn't run them, but a lot of ads ran from YouTube. So I would have gotten monetary payment from this video. For about 30 seconds, I played a stock sound, okay, a music, because it tells me exactly where in the video this happened. And it was one that I downloaded from a rights-free website. Now, I've never had a hit from any sound, any byte any music, any song that's come from a rights-free website, because by posting it there, you give away your rights to the song, and you say, I want my creation to be used, and I'm not going to get mad about the creator rights. So I'm nice enough to go ahead and cite my music source. It's always down there in the description, and I usually verbalize it also. But what happened is somebody made a song. They put it on the free site. They left it up for a few months. It was downloaded a lot and used because it was good. I actually asked myself, why is this song so good on a stock site? I play it on my videos, and all of a sudden, out of the blue, I get a copyright hit on it. I've played it in many other videos and never got a hit. I did a little digging. Turns out, the way it is looking, at least right now, it looks like this is a scam. Some people are taking songs, hoping YouTube creators will use them so that they can then change the copyright on it and actually file copyrights on a copyright-free song, so that once a creator uses it, the creator of that song gets the money for their video. What do you think about that, Darkwolf?
Well, you know, I had one problem with the playing sound in my videos one time. It wouldn't let me monetize, and I couldn't figure out where I messed up in my video when I made it, because I knew I used all stock footage, and, you know, everything was legit, and I didn't cross any copyright bounds in any picture I used, because it was a slide video, you know. So I went back and what I had done is I had added a sound bite underneath the intro, and this sound bite happened to be something that was given by YouTube to choose from. Because, you know, they have their selection of music you can use in the creator's studio, right?
That's right.
And it's all free music, correct? Free license.
Sounds exactly like my issue. Sounds like it was purposeful to try to take monetization.
Exactly. And when I chose the music out of YouTube's own creator, it would not let me monetize that particular video, and that's the only thing I did different.
And I want to make sure everybody knows, when you use the music YouTube provides to make a video, it's all rights free. So what some people are doing, they are listing their songs as free songs for YouTube, and then they're hitting you for it so they can take your ad revenue. Now, I'm lucky here at The Rock because I'm a musician. All my friends are musicians. I have enough music from them to be able to cover everything I do in homemade music. So there's no reason for me to be saying this, because I made the conscious decision today to not use any more music that doesn't come from two places, Audionautics and me, because Audionautics is a really cool guy. I've actually messaged him and he's awesome. I'm using his stuff and I'll never have an issue. So Audionautics and me are the only two sounds you're going to hear out of me now. But I want to make sure other YouTubers understand they should probably stop using stock music, because there are now scams perpetrating inside stock music to take your monetization from you. Now that the monetization is back, here's the other ironic thing about this. This didn't happen until the monetization actually came back. The day it came back. Really. Okay,
and what
Darkwolf.
would that be, brother?
Yeah, well, yeah, it was the day it came back. Yeah, is when they started doing this.
Oh,
so
gotcha.
I think, yeah, it was tied together. It was, yeah, I think they said, oh, YouTube got their money back. Well, let's figure out a way to steal some of their hard-earned money, you know, because a lot of people don't respect YouTube creators, and there's a reason. There's a lot of YouTubers creators out there that just make videos for 10 minutes every day and then post it out and make hundreds of dollars in an hour. There's a lot of creators like me and Darkwolf and the Doc and other people that spend hours doing it the right way. And because of the rep we get from other people, some people don't respect us. That's okay. That's what we're out to change. We're going to change the world. I know that it's really a hard task, a hard sell telling somebody you're out to change things, but we are. I'm going to tell you guys, we're going to do it. We're gonna
do it.
Are you hearing my sound effects now that you're in through Hangouts, Darkwolf?
I am. I hear them loud and clear, Bubba.
What about the clapping? You hear that?
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Darkwolf can hear my stuff, finally. All right. Well, okay, I didn't tell Darkwolf much, but Oh man, how do I spell this? Quetzalcoatl. There it is. Quetzalcoatl.
Quetzal. Yep.
That's right. So I went into Quetzalcoatl on the live dive last night, and I let you know all about this fascinating deity of Mesoamerica. I told you all about the religion side of it, prepping everything I could for when me and Darkwolf came in and started to talk to you guys about this. So I want to give Darkwolf a chance to just take 10 or 20 seconds, tell us what he needs us to know about Quetzalcoatl. Make sure you understand, Darkwolf. I already hit everything and went into really good detail. I read them actually most of the front part of this page just to get them versed so they know a good bit. If just in case people weren't here, give them a quick rundown on Quetzalcoatl and how he works in, and then we'll move on in this presentation so we can figure this out.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, fellow Rockinauts, and everybody who's listening. First, we have Quetzalcoatl. He was the only white god in their entire pantheon. That was quite odd. He was the serpent god. It's the first time serpents were mentioned in the ancient culture. Was in Teotihuacan, and they started out with serpent worship. He has a pyramid there. He's the god of wind and knowledge, and his planet is Venus. That's pretty much the overall we'll need for the moment.
All right. Venus, you say?
Yes, his planet is Venus. Now, he does have a pyramid, like we mentioned a moment ago, in Teotihuacan. And under this pyramid, they found a river of Mercury. Now, this is going to lead us, ladies and gentlemen, to a discussion and down a road that is going to take us all over the world and maybe even to space if we're lucky. Well, let's see where we go. You know how we love space.
That's right, because last night, after I told you guys about Quetzalcoatl, I gave you some clues about what we were going to speak about next. And I hope it's not too early in the morning to get you guys into a conspiracy, but we're going to do it. We've also got, so let me just go ahead and prep the show here. On top of that, on top of the conspiracy, we're going to go back into the news and keep you updated on what's going on for the day, because it's always important in the morning to get updated on the news. And it's going to be the type of news we like. We like to do it our way around here. We do things in our style, our way. We like it that way. That's what we want to do. So yeah, if you don't like the style we stylize with, I'm sorry. We tried. We really did. Now, I want to make sure you guys know Doc Lupo's dropping some new videos. So after you guys watch this, my very good buddy over there on Doc Lupo's channel, I really want to give him a mention, and make sure you guys head over and give a few thumbs up, maybe give a share,
Bubba.
or yo.
Hey, Bubba, why don't we go ahead and do a check real quick?
A what?
On Doc. Why don't we just go ahead and do a check on Doc Lupo real quick?
All right, we'll do that. I'll go over and show you. I'm not going to play any more videos off of YouTube.
No.
On the channel. Oh no, that's cool. I'm just telling them because I haven't told him yet. We're not really going to play a lot of videos anymore, but I'm going to jump over and I'm going to give him a Chan check update and a bomb. Right now, I'm just prepping a little bit of a, let's say, oh, I got a good one. I love this song. This song is really, it's really, oh man, what's a good word? I can't even describe it. I can't describe this song, but as we bridge over, let's listen to this while I prep up the next segment. And this song describes this morning. I want you guys to think about that while we stream. This song is going to describe the feel of the morning. Let's go ahead and get it rolling and move into our next segment. I love this song. Okay, my sound was gone. I just got it back. Wake up, news dude. You're on it. Thank you. Darkwolf, I'm sorry. I was sitting here talking that whole time. I had to have the Rockinati let me know my cord came loose. Guys, we are just plagued with audio problems today, aren't we? That one was my fault. It's okay. All I was saying to you guys, we got to listen to that really cool song, so that's okay. And I was telling you to follow the link I dropped. In fact, I'm going to drop it again just because I want to make sure. Dude, you guys rock. Because if it wasn't for you guys, I would have talked for 10 more minutes without ever realizing that I was muted by myself. Huh. At Doc's channel, these beavers don't play games, guys. They really don't. And I love that the Doc is doing this. I laughed my butt off when I first saw this video. I'm telling the Doc, this is the Rockinati stopping by during an early morning live stream, checking out this awesome, checking this. I don't even know what I'm typing. This awesome, funny video you did. Come by soon, Doc. We miss you. So if you guys get a chance to comment, let him know that we miss him over at The Rock, because I'm telling you, the Doc listens to that stuff, and you're going to use that mental trickery to get him into the stream if you butter him up with some comments. I'm telling you. Hey, I'm going to tell you, he should have let me go for a few minutes, says Wake Up News. So true. It's early in the morning, and I don't stream this early. I haven't even drank my caffeine yet, guys. I'm working on it while I talk to you. Give me like 20 minutes. By that time, everything, all the caffeine and stuff will be kicking in, and I won't be having any more problems. I'll be on it by then. Until then, keep your eye on me.
What are you drinking, Bubba?
Well, you know what I drink. I drink Monster energy drink. That's right. The unofficial drink, because I'm not allowed to say official, but the unofficial drink of Unirock. We appreciate it, Monster. Thank you guys. Thanks to the guys over at Monster. Okay.
Yeah,
so
they
let me
really,
go ahead.
Gave us permission to go ahead and use their name on air. We really asked permission before we did this. We're just that respectful.
You know, I can't say that I'm advertising them, but I'm allowed to talk about them?
Yes.
I get stickers to talk about them? I get drinks to talk about them? I don't know. Okay, that's all I'm going to say. I won't go any deeper there. I can't disclose the business side of the channel, you guys. I'm sorry. They told me not to. They said it's unprofessional. They know how I talk, though. I just tell you guys, everything that's in here comes out of here without much of a filter. The only filter is I filter the negativity, and I filter any cursing. I filter like some other bad stuff that may come out. I try to switch it into the good. That's the only filter you're going to hear. Okay, Quetzalcoatl is a deity, and we talked about him for a few minutes. The feathered serpent is how he translates. And it's very interesting because there's a lot of connection between Quetzalcoatl. And I'm not going to go into this deep. I just want to catch us up because I talked about this in the last live dive. You'll find it listed at Unirock live streams. And when Darkwolf is in the Chan, you're also going to find him listed over on his channel. So make sure you check him out over there and give Darkwolf those replay views. Anybody who started playing this on Unirock after the fact, go click it on Darkwolf's channel. We want to give him some views too, guys. All right. So he's there's a lot in common between, I found, Chinese and Japanese type dragons and Quetzalcoatl.
Yes,
Darkwolf's linked this to a lot of stuff too.
That's exactly where we were headed later on in the dissertation. We're headed right into the dragons, because you're right. The dragons show up in China. Let's just keep this in mind, audience. The dragons show up in China. They show up in Mexican lore. And there's even an Egyptian dragon.
Oh, really? I did not know this.
Yes, I didn't know, and it amazed me that I did not realize it when it was pointed out to me by one of our wonderful team members. It's the Ouroboros, the dragon eating its own tail. That is the Egyptian dragon.
That is interesting. The Ouroboros, the concept of the infinity and the dragon linked together by eating its own tail and the constant circle. Not only is it a positive kind of thought on how reality works, but it's very scary to think about. I don't ever like thinking about consciousness consuming itself. That's crazy. Yeah, and one of the things I pointed out earlier, well, I guess
I love
last
that
night,
picture.
isn't that, dude, I always go back to this picture. I'm so happy they list this. I also have many, many, many Mayan and Aztec pictures saved on my hard drive. But, I want to give a shout out to Wikipedia, whoever wrote this article for Wiki, because Wiki is the dictionary that you write yourself so that we can get everything in the world cataloged in a fast, accessible way. But whoever wrote this article really took their time and chose the most perfect images to display, because it gives you that feeling. This is one of my favorites too, and I know it's crazy to show a wall, but look at that wall. Let me zoom in
the
on
design in that wall, the symbols and there we go. The engravings and whatnot in that wall are just absolutely incredible.
I mean, I don't want to skip ahead in the presentation. I'm not trying to do that, but bro, there's these dragons that you see from the Western continents and the Eastern continents. You can't tell me that they aren't linked somehow. They look so similar, and not only that, they're used in such a similar way.
Well, you've also got the fire breathing aspect. They all breathe fire, except the Egyptian one is eating its own tail, so I doubt it's breathing much of anything. But besides that,
Definitely.
They all breathe fire. They all fly. They all have wings. They all there's a whole lot of similarities there. But if we don't go into more of the background, it won't make sense, until later. But there is a lot of similarities between all these cultures, and they all have the dragons that do the exact same things, and that is very, very odd.
This is the Egyptian. This is one of the Egyptian dragons. This is an actual image taken off of a relief in Egypt. And yeah, this is another one. This is a really strange, more of a snake, but still.
Oh,
still a dragon in its own right.
Let's look up the Native American Piazza bird. Piazza bird.
Okay, Native American Piazza. Oh, it came right up. That's good. That means I don't have to type anymore. And let's give her a click right here on that place where we like to go. I'm only saying this to stall while I resize the camera. Yes, I do have cameras built into my PC. What a crazy looking bird.
That is a Native American dragon. It is actually called a dragon in one of the articles that I was reading where I found this.
I can see this as a dragon. This is the Piazza bird on cliffs northwest of Alton, Illinois. Yeah, let me quote the guy that took the... Oh, well, if he wanted quoted, he would have listed his name. And he didn't. I tried to cite him. We attempted it. Now, these are interesting. There's another underwater panther, a common mythological monster in Oh, that's a good word to try to say right there. Mississippian art. Mississippian.
There you go.
Mississippi art. Okay.
All right.
This is a restored piece of bird carving. So this was a carving that they painted over it to restore it at this park in Illinois.
So we've even got the Native Americans who have a dragon in their legends. We got all these different cultures, but they all seem to have this winged dragon in their legends.
Oh, I wish I could read this. Let me see if I can zoom in on this because I want to see this. It says the legend of the Piazza bird. Many thousand moons before the arrival of the palefaces, when the great and mastodon, whose bones are now dug up, were still living, in this land of green prairies, there existed a bird of such dimensions that he could easily carry off with his talons a full-grown deer, having obtained a taste of human flesh, from that time he would prey upon nothing else. Spooky. Now, I want to go ahead and keep this moving. It does seem like these different cultures were at least talking with each other, and that, you know, they didn't have cell phones, my friend. So we have to go a little further.
Didn't. And according to modern science and archaeology, there was no way that these cultures actually communicated at all.
Very true.
Dude,
You know,
they did.
and it's always good to keep that in your mind. So we don't want to try to draw any conclusions by what we're stating until you have all the facts. We're not trying to convince you of anything. We're just showing you some things we found, and we're hoping that when we do this the right way, you'll draw your own conclusions. Okay, let me turn this music down really fast. I just was trying to cue it up and maybe have a little bit of background stuff going on, but I don't want to fizz out our vocals today with the sound issues we're having. So that's okay. It happens.
We'll have to try that on another stream.
Yes, we will. All right, so let's go ahead and slide on down. Where am I? Oh, we're looking at the Ouroboros. So this full-size Ouroboros during the Alexandrian period in Egypt, the enclosed words mean all is one. And that's what they're trying to show you by the snake or the dragon eating its own tail. All is one. And yeah, it is a kind of crazy concept. This actually, wow, the Urias from Civilization, California. I always wondered what that was. Darkwolf. We've got the that. Remember last time we on a stream we looked at this sarcophagus.
Yeah.
It's kind of linked in somehow.
The serpent once again.
The uraeus was a symbol of sovereignty worn on the royal Egyptian headdress. It is used as a protective symbol, as the Egyptians believed that the cobra would spit fire at approaching enemies. And the Egyptian serpent guardian, the Wajay, was sent by Osiris to protect the pharaoh and control the Nile. The cobra goddess was the patroness of Lower Egypt. Wajay was part of the Osirian myth and was always viewed as a protector of Egypt, depicted as a woman with a cobra head. Wow. Or I've never seen those in Egypt. I've never seen a woman with a cobra head. Why don't they show us those? Why isn't that significant enough to be shown?
I've never ever heard of something like that. I just learned something new. If you don't learn something new every day, your day has been wasted.
Very
Holy
true.
cow. I just learned something incredibly new.
What's that?
That the women in Egypt wore the snake headdresses.
Well, oh no, they were actually saying that deity in Egypt had a head of a cobra. The head of that. Yeah, the whole, like, you know how they show jackal heads on human bodies and they show griffin heads on human bodies. They were saying that the cobra, the woman's whole head, was that of a cobra.
And it said the cobra was believed to spit fire. Now, does that sound like another
similar? Very similar.
Dragon? Yeah, another dragon we've heard, you know, like Chinese dragons, and that's interesting. That's very, very interesting.
Very much so. Now, let's go ahead and move over. We're going to talk about, we went from Quetzalcoatl, which we went in full detail on the last stream. If you get a chance to check that out, you'll understand where we're at now a little better. But also, we went to the Europe. I was going to say European, but the Western dragons and the Eastern dragons. So you got to also talk about the secret tomb of China's first emperor and what they found when they excavated this place.
Now, this is a truly incredible story here. I'm not sure if this is the same as the terracotta. I know the terracotta army is mentioned in this. I'm not sure if it's the same tomb or not. But there is a tomb where underneath they found a river of mercury.
Yes. They did. They also found a lot of statues. We're talking, I think, hundreds of these statues that look just like the one that I'm showing you right here. And they were lined up like a group of soldiers in formation and then buried underground. They poured the dirt right on top. You know how long it would take them to carve these, let alone set them up and get them all set in the tomb and then just bury them almost for no reason, you know?
It's really, really insane because look at the detail. Like you said, look at the time it would take to sculpt something of that detail. The facial features, the armor, everything is so detailed. And when their myth, I guess, and their mythos or belief is that the army was going to protect them on the other side. There's which is a whole lot of ancient cultures we're also finding with this same idea that they can take things with them or people with them over to the other side.
Yeah, and we hit that earlier in that stream because we talked about the river Styx and we talked about the coin that was placed in the mouth of the dead so that they could pay the ferryman when they got there. We went into detail on what the river Styx was and how two cultures on different sides of the globe both believed that there was a river Styx, described it exactly the same. And it's a scary description because the souls of the dead that get lost sometimes find themselves falling into the river Styx and then being bound there for eternity. Or if you die after doing some evil things, your whole existence can be being tortured by your soul becoming the water of the river Styx to be tread through by new souls to get to their destination in the afterlife. Okay. Who did we drop a love bomb on? Was it the doc? Yeah. Oh, okay. Oh, we got a response. It wasn't the doc responding to our Chan checkout earlier. Somebody else, Rocker Chick, said, Rockinati, do tell. Well, we are live right now at my channel, Unirock. Come watch our show. Maybe we can get Rocker Chick in here. Now, guys, if Rocker Chick does come in, be very nice. Tell her what we do. Tell her why she should become a Rockonaut. I'll even tell her, if you come to the show that is on Unirock right now, you will become an official Rockonaut. Want to make sure we get the word. We spread the love. We show people what we're doing, and we tell them how we do it. All right. Now, I want to get right back into where we were, because inside this emperor's tomb, you need to hear this part. Ancient writings say the emperor created an entire underground kingdom and palace, complete with a ceiling mimicking the night sky, set with pearls as stars. Pits full of terracotta concubines have never been discovered, though experts predict they exist somewhere in the complex. Now, I was going to read into this a little more, but I've got to jump down into the comments because we've got a lot of the Rockonauts in here that just came in. We've got my good buddies all over at Channel Unnameable in here. They said, but there are many other sources showing that we had knowledge of Ophiuchus, but it wasn't charted on that mainstream site. That's what I don't get. Unnameable. You know it, bro. Why don't they tell us everything? Why do they pick and choose? I don't know. But I do know that is what makes places like Unnameable Media on Twitter and channels like Unirock and Darkwolf's Den on YouTube, places you go to get this stuff, because we pick through that stuff that they don't tell you. And I'm going to tell you right now, you usually find clues to other hidden things from other conspiracies when you look at the hidden things in the original conspiracy. It all links together, and that's what we try to build from. We build from the knowledge that usually isn't talked about as much. Now, let's go ahead and shout some people out, because we've got the viewers. We've got the Rockonauts in here. I know what you guys are thinking. You guys that weren't in here when we started, you guys are thinking, what is the Rockonati doing streaming in the morning over on the East Coast? These guys usually stream in the middle of the night. Well, guess what, guys? We're shaking it up. We want to reach out to you guys at different times of the day so we can hang out with you more. If we're always streaming at night, how do we know that most of the viewers that could come around during the day aren't sleeping? Well, some of them have to be. Yeah. Rusty's in here. Array Sunshine. Joe's in here. Joe's always in here, man. That's why Joe's a Rockonaut. Unnameable Media over on Twitter. If you're not following them, I urge you guys to follow them. They're in here right now. Cartoon Danielle is here. I said Stariana. I don't remember. But Loyal Justice is here. Yeah, we've got the Rockonauts rocking, man. Darkwolf, you got to be loving this, dude.
Oh, it is absolutely amazing, man. I tell you what, I say it every time, but when I'm not able to be on here with you guys and the Rockinauts, dude, it don't feel right. It really don't. Yeah, I miss it. I miss every moment of hanging out, learning stuff, hanging out with the Rockinauts, because they teach us more than I think we learn ourselves, just in our own research. It wouldn't be for our Rockinauts, dude, we wouldn't learn half the stuff we know. So we're so glad to have everybody here. We really, really appreciate y'all coming by and hanging out with us. Even those in the replay, we're glad you're here too.
That's right. And I want to hit a couple other comments that popped up. I forgot. I didn't see Tracy, but she's in the UK and she's asleep sometimes when we stream. So I hope this stream is helping you out, Tracy. That's right. I had you in mind. And Rusty says, Unirock, don't forget Dana. I'm sorry, Dana. I didn't see any comments from you. I always shout from the comments. I don't have a list of your names outside of that. So if you guys want me to shout you out, you got about another 20 seconds to comment before I stop shouting and head right back into the conspiracy. Cartoons Danielle says, I like the morning. We love the morning, and we're going to start coming at you earlier in the morning.
Yeah, I think it'd probably be better off, and we've been talking about this, changing up the times we've been doing the streams, so we might start doing a couple more morning shows, a few less late night shows. So we're working on getting our schedule worked out so we can get this thing out to you guys as often as possible.
Definitely, man. And also, I like to find out about, what time you leave for work and what time it would be good so that, like, me and you on nights where, like, I know I'm going to be doing a lot of day stuff, we can crash right when you get off. And then when you get off or when you wake up, you can message me. I'll make sure I set an alarm for whatever time you're getting up. You can get up for work an extra hour early because you went to bed an extra hour early. And hey, bam, what ends up happening? We get a morning show in there. I want to go back over here real quick, though, and finish this out and come back. Oh, River Swept is in here. Okay, that's what I'm saying. Wake up news. Yeah. All right. Of course, I said Array Sunshine, but it's always worth saying any name that has the word sunshine in it twice. So Array Sunshine is here too. Okay, and Quinn Shihan's tomb is also thought to be encircled with rivers of liquid mercury, which the ancient Chinese believe could bestow immortality. Now, we talked last night just a little bit about mercury because I wanted to save it for this one. It's one of those fascinating metals. It's a liquid metal at room temperature. Normally, like lead, you've got to heat it to thousands of degrees before it will become liquid. Mercury is a liquid right as we sit. And if you could imagine, there are metals that float in mercury just like we float in water. Normal metals that would sink to the bottom of an ocean of water would stay at the top of a river of mercury. How crazy is that?
Its surface tension is absolutely incredible. It is the only metal that is liquid at room temperature. Its capabilities are absolutely endless. It is one of the only metals that is the most easy to combine with other metals and make what is called an amalgamate or an amalgamation.
Very true. In fact, I had that pulled up. I may have closed it because I want to go into amalgamation sometime before we get into mercury. It's important to know because I just learned about amalgamation when researching this, and it is fascinating the way that mercury combines with other metals and other minerals to form kind of a mixed together mesh, kind of a combination thing. I mean, even gold, even silver, you put those two together and they become something different. It's very crazy how this works. Dana Jensen may want to do a call-in. Well, Dana, we got you. Our call-in feature has been working. Unfortunately, our sound has been messing up very bad tonight. That doesn't matter. When we get done with our presentation, if you're still around, Dana, we'll call you and we'll get you in the show and we'll talk to you for a few minutes. Rusty, thanks for that shout out. Hey, why don't you go ahead and get on Discord, send her a message, find something out for me, let me know what she wants to do and how she wants to do it. All right. Now, this is a quote straight out of the article, which is quoting from Romy, which is the man who is investigating this tomb. It's kind of ironic. This is probably how he died, by ingesting mercury. He was taking all these mercury pills because he wanted to live forever, and it killed him at the age of 39. It is ironic. And, you know, this world isn't meant for us to live forever. I wouldn't want to live forever in this world. I know if you offered me immortality, I'd definitely pass. I always wondered, you know, Dark Wolf, that one thought, you know, like living forever and all that stuff. What happens if you live forever and let's just say something like an apocalyptic scenario happens and this world that we once knew that was green and lush and great to live in becomes a wasteland? You're living forever. And it could be 150 degrees on the surface of the earth. What happens then? What happens in that situation?
Well, congratulations, Bubba. You just ruined one of my greatest dreams. I've always fantasized about what it would be like to live forever because I want to see the wondrous steps in technology and aspects we reach as mankind. That's why I would want to live forever. But now that I think, as you put it, that's really scary. Like, I guess at some point physics would take over and you just have to be, you know, physically done and recycled back into the universe. But wow. You just totally ruined that for me.
Well, I always wondered that about the vampire scenario too. You know, back when my girlfriend or the kids or Rachel's daughter wanted to watch Twilight, and you know they're all living forever, and I'm like, yeah, they love each other forever. Even after the earth becomes a wasteland, they're going to still be loving each other while they are miserable on the surface of a wasteland. No, but and that's a bad thought. I don't want to go there too much. You know, I'm sure even just like in that movie Highlander, there sure are ways even immortals can die. But we also have movies like Interview with the Vampire, and you know what happens when you take. We saw Brad Pitt's character get locked into a coffin with chains wrapped around it, and then put into a wall, and then the wall was sealed with stones and mortar, and he was stuck in there for an extended amount of time. It'll drive you mad. Not only that, if you're not taken out of there in a certain amount of time, even an immortal mind will go completely crazy from no stimuli.
Especially an immortal mind, because that would need more stimuli than normal, I would think.
And then also, the end of this article says something that we all should keep in the forefront. Oh, Darkest Dog is in here. Hey, guys. Angie King, hey, what's up? Darkest Dog, I hope you subscribed. That's a new name. I don't remember seeing you before. Hopefully, we impress you sometime during the stream and you click that like and subscribe button. I'm sorry if I'm advertising. I'll stop right now because I don't like doing that. All right. Make sure if you do like us, you check out good old Dark Wolf, because when I got somebody in the stream with me, I got to shout them out, or I just wouldn't be a good dude if I didn't do that. All right. Now, the end of this article says, quote, archaeology ultimately is a destructive science. You have to destroy stuff in order to learn about it. That is said by the man who is excavating this tomb. I would have to disagree, Mr. Romney. I think that if you have to destroy it to learn things about it, it's better off to just leave it where it sits. But that does happen too often with trying to learn things. Sometimes in the field of biology, sometimes you got to cut open things to learn everything you need to know. That's why I don't like getting. That's why I don't like getting into that field, man. I don't like it. Okay. So
we were on to Mercury, and we've discussed so far how it was found in Mexico, and it was found under the pyramid of the feathered serpent, which is much like a dragon, which led us into China and their dragons, and we compared the two, east and west, and found a lot of similarities. And then we've led into the Tomb of the Emperor, then led us into Mercury. And that's where we sit right now, correct?
That's right. Now, I think it's important before we delve into the properties of Mercury and what it can do and then what it said it can do and conspiracies around this fascinating metal that we show you some things that may be happening right now with it, and that will lead us in there. Darkwolf, why don't you tell us what I got pulled up on the screen, my friend?
All right. So in our research, we were able to come across something that I was actually quite amazed that we were able to find. This is called a quantum. I've got it written down here.
While you look for that, I'm just going to tell them the details of the patent real fast. So we're in this patent, and this is an actual filed patent. It is
Quantum
publication.
Vortex.
Quantum Vortex, yes. It's a machine, and we're going to tell you what they say it can do. We're going to tell you what they filed the patent for, and when you hear this, you're going to want to look at every detail of the metal mercury, and that's why I thought this would be a good lead-in. So it was filed in 2003. It was published in 2005. I think it has been approved. Yes, it was given priority. The priority date is an assumption and is not a legal conclusion. Google has not performed any legal analysis and makes no representation to the accuracy of the date listed, but it's important to note that it's there and it's been claimed at least, but they applied for the patent, and I'm almost positive this patent was approved and it was worked on. And then once you hear what they were going to do with this thing, you're going to be surprised. Method and apparatus for quantum vortex implosion, propulsion, and species. It's a system for converting high-frequency quantum electrodynamic radiation energy and at least one atom through a cavity, vacuum fluctuation, and converting same into a superconductive electrical implosion propulsion energy from zero-point energy at a frequency that is amenable to conversion to electric and implosive propulsion. Now, when we break that down, it's saying that it can take electricity and an atom and propel something to be able to move with zero energy. That's it in a nutshell. But there's also other claims. What do you think, Darkwolf?
Well, that is correct. It basically causes zero gravity. It creates a zero gravity propulsionary thrust that can be used to move objects, if you will, to, I don't know, space.
It says it right here. A system for coupling at least one atom in at least one hourglass mode and converting quantum electrodynamic vacuum cavity fluctuations, electromagnetic radiation energy to electrical and to a superconductive vortex impulsion, propulsion energy compromising. And then it goes into many more things that I don't want to get into too much. And I'm sorry I'm saying so many big words because sometimes that confuses me also. And I don't want to bore anyone or get you guys turned off by this. But I'm going to break it down into layman's terms. This is either one of two things. This is either the machine that they were talking about where they can put up a big sail and shoot one atom at the sail. And due to the background radiation in space, they can filter these atoms in. And as these atoms hit the solar sail, it causes it to start moving with each atom that bumps into it until every single bump gives it more and more speed. And at first you would be moving extremely slow, but after a day, a week, a month of doing this, you could achieve extremely high speeds.
Well, yeah, that is one version, but I guarantee you that is not what we're looking at here. And
Gotcha.
I can definitely prove that it's a different way they're doing this using electrostatic power.
Electrostatic power. These things fascinate me.
And things like that, electromagnetic radiation. So we're going to take another trip now. We're going to go over to India.
India?
Yes.
What do you want me to type to get there?
I believe there was a link one more link in that list that I gave you earlier.
I don't know if I can pull it up. Let me try. Let me see if I got it up at least. Rio de Janeiro. Stained glass windows. Max Logan. Oh, don't look at that. Don't look at that one. Okay.
Hey, I remember that picture. That's the picture of you playing the guitar, isn't it?
Yeah, but I didn't want to show it live. Yeah. Okay. What can I type into Google to get this link to pull up? If I just type in the name of it, it should come up. Hold on, wait. I think I might have it. Hold on. Okay, so in the list of the links, I'm gonna try to find it. Okay, so it's in the first set of links you sent me. You think?
Yes, should be.
Oh, there they are. Okay, Mexico, China, Egypt, Indian Vimanas. There we go. Oh yeah, this is one of the ones that does not direct me correctly.
Huh? It pulled up for me just fine. That's why I give it to you. All right, so I can't not.
Let me edit
in
this.
Here.
Hold on.
Vimana propulsion. Let's go for Vimana propulsion system. This should get us what we need.
Okay, Vimana propulsion system. There we go. Mercury Vortex technology.
There we go.
Ooh,
now, this is an
this.
ancient Sanskrit text. And when we mean ancient, I mean like BC ancient Sanskrit text that speaks of these machines that were flying, and their gods flew these all over and had big battles over their heads, and all kind of craziness went on. I can't really go through the whole text because it's very, very broad, but it basically speaks of alien battles or even space battles. I would say alien because we weren't in the sky at that time. But their propulsion system is the really intriguing thing. It works on what's called a Mercury Vortex engine. Now, this is not something that is totally made up and out of science, because what this is, now that we've showed where it's at, if you will do a Google on the Mercury Vortex engine, we can actually get a diagram, most likely, of what this thing looks like and how it basically works.
Will do. In this article, I'll jump right over there, though, but I want to at least say this couple parts. It even tells you how this would work inside these texts.
What we needed. That's what we needed right there.
Well, I'll still look it up because it doesn't have any images or anything like that. But yeah, that's what I want people to understand. These ancient texts just didn't talk about it, because in a lot of the ancient texts we read, or let's just say that a lot of the mainstream reads, like the Bible or other religious texts, they don't really give actual instructions on how to make or operate this stuff. In the ancient texts in India, they talked about this stuff, but they also told you how to fly it. Actual instructions on how to fly it. There were actual diagrams showing the different places inside, like the bathroom, the kitchen, the sleeping areas. This wasn't just detailed back then with a, wow, that flew around. This was detailed with, here's every detail about the thing. Like, it's on, we talked about the ages of man a little bit last night also, because it's embedded into Aztec and Mayan religious documents and mythology. Now, they state, not only them, but almost, I'd say at least 50, 70% of other ancient religions talk about the different ages of man. And they're not really talking about a set time frame, but they're saying that there were different, kind of like the age we are now is where we went from where we were in civilization in Africa in the beginning, and we spread out all over the world. They're saying that has happened 5 times in human history that we've recorded. And the 4th time, they also started at one point and spread out all over the world. And then there was a devastating event. The 3rd time this happened. The 2nd time. This has just happened over and over up to now, which is the 5th. So what some people are stating is some of the texts that we find that are very advanced, that actually give us details about how they flew, where they slept when they flew, what they ate when they flew, what space looked like, how the planets worked, the phases of the sun, all the things that it takes thousands of years to describe the phases of the sun. Could the Aztecs have described this with mathematics? Could they have discovered this using mathematics and coming up with hypotheses and hypotheses and doing it that way? Yeah, they could have. But then again, they could have just honestly, an equal possibility, they could have had machines like this and actually flew them and seen them. Okay. Now,
Absolutely. That's very, very possible that they were actually recording exactly what they were seeing in front of them. I mean, it's hard to make up some of this stuff and to have it backed by modern science and say, yes, this is exactly what and how it happens. And you're talking about peoples that were BC, like really, really, really ancient peoples.
Definitely. Now, so here's what I'll do. We've been doing that. We've been going into this for a moment. So we're going to hold our place. We're not going to mess it up. It's going to be held for us right there. We're going to do some of the stuff we always do together as Rockinauts. We're also going to do a couple of our segments. We're going to have some fun. You know, we got to do all the stuff we normally do. So let's just get down. Let's get this rolling. We're going to play a clip. And then we're going to jump right in. So let's do this. It's the live dive. It's early morning. We're chilling with each other. This is the Rockinauts on the Rockinati in the live dive. That's right. The strangest place on the internet just hit you in the morning. We are the late night live dive in the morning. Seeker, we're going to jump down into the comments. Seeker a Truth says, good job, Unirock and Darkwolf. Well, hey, Seeker, we do this for you guys, and we do this because you guys come. If you guys didn't watch us, we wouldn't have the ability to do this. And we thank you just as much.
Real quick there, Seeker of Truth, we really, really appreciate you stopping by the stream over here. This is a person that has actually hung out with us quite a bit, but very rarely actually drops in and says hello in the chat. So we're really glad they actually stopped by and said something.
Definitely, bro. Definitely. We've got Simo San in here. Simo, if you're new, I welcome you to the Rockinati. All you got to do to become an official Rockinaut is chill for a live stream and then come back the next time. And wham, bam, thank you, ma'am. You are a Rockinaut. In fact, Who Took My Mojo is here. Loyal Justice is here. Unnameable is still in the house. We love it when Unnameable stops by. I've always said it. Unnameable supported me from 50 subscribers all the way up to the close to the 1,000 mark where we are now. And I've always appreciated them doing that for me. Melanie Gallagher is here, one of our guests that come on and talk. Stariana. Rusty Shackelford, of course, he submits links constantly. He's always giving us good information, and I love it when he stops by. I couldn't be happier. G Minion is here, and we've got all the other Rockinauts chilling also. Hey, that's right, Simo San. That's what we do, my friend. We rock out, we rock on, we just rock it. Wake up news. All right, guys, I'm going to type it in. Thank you for being here because we do appreciate you. Now, we've got to take care of some of our other business. We don't really get to do everything we want to do all the time, so we have to get it in there at some point. Let's do that. Let's do the random Wikipedia. Let's find, where's my wiki? There we go. So I'm going to click.
This is one of my favorite segments we do. We learn so much every single day. I walk away from this stream learning something I did not know because of this segment.
Yep, that's right. So I'm going to click this button until you guys tell me to hit stop by typing something like stop or quit it or, hey, quit pushing that button. I will stop clicking this as soon as I get a stop from the audience, and we will see what comes up. And yeah, Wake Up News, we feel the same way. Oh, Reality Check gave me a gih, and I think that means stop in Arabic. So I'm going to go ahead and stop on, I don't know what gih, I don't know what language that is. I was just making that up. Nameable says, Uni stop. That's my favorite kind of stop, the Uni stop. Yes, the flag of Amman is a flag of the city and municipality of Amman, Jordan. It is officially recognized by the Jordanian government. The foreground shows the word Amman, written in Arabic. Wow, I randomly said Arabic a little bit ago. This is one of those synchronicities that happen. I was just guessing off the top of my head at what GEY could mean, what language it could be if that was stop in that language. And I guessed Arabic, and we pulled up an Arabic flag. And in the background are hills and houses. I like this flag, Darkwolf. Isn't that really cool flag?
That is really neat. And what a way to use the words to actually design the flag itself into the whole pattern. That is really neat.
It is, yeah. They used the Arabic words, and they made the house emblem kind of come down into the Arabic words, and then they have this design in the back, which is supposed to represent hills and houses. The flag had been adopted by the Greater Municipality of Amman in 2009 instead of the old arch flag. I wish they had an image of the old flag because I'd love to see it too. Well, you know what we do when we do a random Wikipedia article? We always click it one more time. And yes, we got a good one this time, guys, because one thing Uni loves. I used to have to carry a weapon. That's what the military had us call our firearm. We always called it a weapon, never a gun. A Howa Type 89 assault rifle, referred to as the Type 89, is a 5.56 millimeter Japanese assault rifle used by the Japan Self-Defense Forces, the Coast Guards, and Special Security Team units, and the Special Assault Team. It's never exported outside of Japan due to strict anti-hardware export policy. It is known in the JGSDF service as Buddy. They call it Buddy. It is a pretty cool looking rifle. It looks very efficient. It's more of a tripod-mounted 5.56 millimeter assault rifle. We actually have a similar assault rifle in the United States, which is the squad automatic weapon. And I want to show you guys this because I actually carried one for a while. I got to fire it a few times. Loved this weapon. So, okay, this is a more, a saw. Well, mine didn't look like that, but, well, that looks like a bar. Oh, this is a Bren. So this is a British version of the bar, which the bar is a bigger version of the squad automatic weapon. I wanted to find the newer one to show you. Let me type in saw army gun because I bet I can get a really good picture of it. And I'm sorry, guys. I know a lot of you guys don't like this stuff, so I'll jump out of it quick. Yeah, there it is. This thing made my back ache for about 3 days after I stopped carrying it around. It's a heavy weapon. M249 Mark II. This is an airsoft version. It's more of a mock-up, but this is the military version. But it's a wonderful weapon. It fires in full automatic, and the soldiers that use it are very well trained. This is a one beast of a machine. Okay, I'll get out of this topic. I know some of you guys don't like this topic as much, so I'm going to respect you and jump out. But we have added a feature to our randomosities, our randomnesses, our random stuff. So we also, instead of just doing what I said, where we randomize Wiki, we also randomize the world inside of our new Google Earth. So if you guys want to give me a stop, then I'll stop on a place. And the cool thing about this is that it takes us to every point in the world that is in Google Earth, which I'm telling you right now, I'd be surprised to find several places that aren't in Google Earth. So this is ultimate randomosity. Seeker of Truth gave us a stop. That's what I'm talking about. We stopped in Teruel. Teruel is a province of Aragon in the northeast Spain. The capital is Teruel. It is bordered by the provinces of Tarragona, Castellon, and Valencia. Very beautiful places. Look at this mountain range. Look at this place. So beautiful. Let's go down and find the city laying near the capital. There it is. And look how pretty. Look at the top. All the tops of the houses are the same color because they use that beautiful tile. Just gorgeous. But we're not seeing as detailed of a scan as we see in other cities. It's not 3D yet.
That is really, really neat.
So what's the capital of Spain? Is it Madrid?
I believe.
Madrid? However, let me type Madrid instead. Because I want to show you a city that probably does have the random part of this software added, and it does. Because if you explore in the new Google Earth, you're going to see your world in 3D. Yes, I know this sounds crazy, but it's true. You can actually zoom in close, and if you give it a second to load everything, you're going to be able to even see the trees, the cars, the statues, the buildings. Everything that the people see is going to be there, loaded right in to the world. You can even see the details on the front of the buildings. It's one of the most fascinating programs I've ever used. And I spend a lot of time in this program just because it's so gorgeous. And I love exploring the world. Well, a lot of times when you can't get out and explore the world yourself, it's good for that. And also, if I was ever paralyzed, like if I was stuck in a wheelchair or something bad happened to me, like, and I was injured or something really bad, because I've been injured before, but luckily I recovered. But if I was injured so bad that I couldn't get around, I'd be so happy for things like this because it would be a very easy way, wouldn't cause, wow, look at those buildings. Aren't those pretty? They curve around.
Sign, that's cool as can be.
Oh, look what's right here. What is that? I bet they've got a tag for it. Is it a radio tower? It's got a lot of lights on it. Huh.
I don't know.
See, what's cool is you can hug right on things. You can get real close and hug right up on them, right? So that you're almost touching them. And then you can look around and actually see what it would look like to be standing up here and looking down on the city from this spot. I think it's really cool and pretty.
That's really, really pretty. You know, later on another stream, that New York, when we first landed, when we first tried this, that New York scene that we seen, I've got a whole conspiracy on that later on. It won't be today, but we'll have to do a whole nother stream. But I've got a big conspiracy to go into with you on that one.
Well, you guys know we have been talking about some strange things that happen inside of this new program. We are generating some topics, and we're going to talk about it soon. And it definitely is worth looking at. Wow, they've got Disneyland. I've never thought about looking at a theme park. Oh, my Lord. I got an idea. Let's go to Kings Island. It's a theme park in Ohio. I just want to see something.
I went there in high school. They've got some amazing areas, some great rides. It's a really, really thrill-filled park. But I wonder if we could ride a roller coaster.
It would be really cool if they programmed in riding the roller coasters. But what you can do is go and look at the roller coasters here, and you can click and you interact. I know in the regular Google Earth they have more of these places programmed in. They're working on it now in the new Google Earth because this is in a beta. But anyway, you can go in and see, look, they actually have these programmed in 3D. They've got like a mock Eiffel Tower there also. And yeah, it is really prettily. It's so prettily put in there. No, It's very beautiful. It's very beautifully done. I took pretty and substituted beautiful in there. But yeah, you can look at this stuff, and then like, let's say we see a roller coaster that we like. Well, if you're in Google Earth, you can find a roller coaster. You can go over to our favorite place on the internet, YouTube, the site that hosts all the crazy things we do in such a good way. Well, let's say we want to ride the Beast roller coaster from Kings Island. We can type it in, and you can actually ride it. And I hope I don't get a copyright hit for this. Sorry, Theme Park Review. This video is used for reporting purposes on a feature in Google Earth. I'm using it under fair use. The original creator, Theme Park Review, has all credit, all copyright. Unirock is not trying to copy them. I'm just showing you this for 7 seconds. I've got 2 more left. But yes, you can ride the roller coasters that you want to ride, how you want to ride them, and from the comfort of your own home. Now that we've done that little bit of exploring, we've randomized our brains a little. We do the random Wikipedia so we can do a little bit of randomizing up here, because when you're locked into a topic, sometimes you get tunnel vision. Well, how's the best way to break you out of that tunnel vision? Well, one way we do it is doing a random article. It kind of gives us another perspective. It refreshes our mind a little. And that's what we just did. Whoa, I just messed my screen up. Let's go back with Mercury. We'll slide down. I want to find the element. So let's type in Mercury Element. Now, the electromagnetic properties of this metal, which as you can see in the pictures, at room temperature is a liquid. I've always wondered why we haven't tried putting mercury into like a tube of, let's say, copper, gold, I don't know, really thin tube, have mercury shooting through it, being pumped through it, right? Then charge it with electricity, do it in different circles in different ways, because I think that the reason why all these ancient texts refer to mercury and then say, hey, this substance is good for flying or anti-gravity, propulsion. I think the ancient texts say this. The Viyamanas say that they use this substance because it is the only liquid metal at room temperature, which is significant because humans need room temperature to be comfortable and to survive. So it makes it a lot easier to use this metal. We don't want to have to heat up. It takes a lot of energy to liquefy lead or steel, right, or gold. It takes a lot of energy. So if mercury is already liquefied at room temperature, you don't have to use the energy to liquefy it to get that effect if you want to use it in something like an engine or a propulsion system or an anti-gravity measure, whatever it is you're trying to do. So where are we going next, Darkwolf? What do we got next on this?
Okay, so the anti-gravity, I'm glad you brought that up, because if you take mercury, say even a single atom of mercury, and you subject it to a high electrostatic field. In other words, if you have two electromagnets and you spin it around it and it's subjected to this field for a little while, and then start spinning the mercury around after it's charged, you'll actually get an anti-gravitic thrust out of it. This is what creates the Mercury Vortex engine.
Wow. You can boil mercury at 674 degrees Fahrenheit. Other liquids have a much lower boiling temperature also, which means you could heat mercury a lot higher than you can other liquids without boiling it. I'd like to see mercury boil. I wonder what that would look like.
Now, we're going to do some even crazier stuff. So when the ancients first found it, they found it in a version called cinnabar, which is a red element, if you will. So
mercury sulfite.
Yes, mercury sulfite, correct. So in this, they used it to polish their shields and breastplates and weapons and things like that. Well, the Quetzalcoatl, going back to the breastplate, we're going to come back around full circle real quick. Quetzalcoatl wore a breastplate. He was known to wear the breastplate of the wind with a jewel that was, and I love the way this is written, so I must read, spirally voluted wind jewel. So a spiral jewel in the middle of this breastplate. And it's funny because a lot of the ancient texts also speak of their heroes wearing these jeweled breastplates.
Oh my gosh. I don't mean to interrupt you. I just read something that is so strange. So mercury was actually used in the making of hats from animal pelts. In the 18th century, people used mercury nitrate compound to clean the pelts before they turned them into hats. Well, this is how they got the term mad as a hatter, because they discovered that a large percentage of the people who wore those hats and were working with those chemicals suffered brain damage and went mad. So the term mad as a hatter actually comes from exposure to mercury.
Oh, I forgot about
Interesting.
that. Yeah, I had heard this before. I forgot all about that. I'm glad you found it. Heck yeah.
And mercury was also used to disinfect wounds. Like, wow. Go ahead, man.
It's got many different varieties of it, or actually 3 overall varieties. One is non-toxic in low levels, and the other 2 are very toxic. So there is a semi non-toxic version out there, and that's what a lot of them used as the red paint pigment called vermilion that they got out of the cinnabar, if I'm not mistaken, is the non-toxic form. So the cinnabar is very red. It also connects to a red planet, Venus, Mars, believe it or not. The soil of Venus is red. Well, why does it connect to Venus? Do you remember why?
You mean Mars? Because Venus is like yellowish. Mercury is a
Actually,
little bit red. So is Mars.
Actually, I found an article, and I wish I'd dropped a link to it earlier. That said that the actual soil of Venus is a reddish brown
Oh,
color.
that makes sense.
And then
Because, yeah, we see the atmosphere more because it has a very heavy atmosphere.
Exactly. So the reason Venus is important and the reason we're looking into this and bringing it up is because Quetzalcoatl and his line of wind gods was reported to be from Venus.
Wow.
Also, his jewel
Oh,
was a spiral jewel of the wind. When I think of spiral wind in space, I don't think tornado.
no.
I mean, I think black hole myself when I think of a spiral wind in space in general. So we had a breastplate with a jewel that most likely resembled a spiral in space. He's from Venus and connected to this cinnabar, which is Mercury, that he had rivers of under his pyramid. Very, very intriguing connections.
This is Mercury without the clouds because they scan this planet with radar. And I'm starting to get a little disturbed by the more pictures I look at of these planets. Every single picture I see is stated to be taken with ultraviolet scannings and with radar scannings instead of actual pictures. Why is it so rare that we get pictures of these planets? They send satellites straight there.
Right. Why wouldn't they be taking pictures of them coming closer and closer and as they orbit it? Well, why are we only getting certain images and those are just what, composites at best?
Well, they're composites from radar scans. But they tell us that these are, actual images, but they're not. They're composites from radar scans.
So you're right. Why don't we have a full image of the planet? As close as it is, and as long as we've been doing simple space exploration, we should have at least that.
Well, for sure. And even more so, you'd think that since we can send rovers to Mars and actually send back pictures of the planet, of the sunset, of the sunrise, why can't we just get a couple really nice pictures of the planets as we approach and show them all the way from far away, every 5 minutes, every hour, something, take a picture as we approach these planets? Why is every picture a generated composite?
Unless they're lying
Even
to
this
us
picture where they're trying to show.
with.
Well, that's where a lot of the conspiracies do come from. But even this, they try to tell us, hey, this is a mountain. No, I'm reading it right here. This is a false color image of Matt Mons with a vertical exaggeration of 22.5. So they basically scan it with a radar, say, how far up does this jut and where? And then they take computer reconstruction and make this come up to make it appear like it would in real life. And that's why we kind of see these strange, probably kind of warped out looking little features on this, where you would expect not to see that, and you'd expect it not to look like this. It would look more natural if it was an actual picture of a mountain. Not only that, this is obviously not a picture because it has a thick layer of sulfurous clouds.
And then again,
So they're taking radar images. Even this,
it makes you wonder
look,
exactly
it says
what
right here.
the surface they're hiding.
Impact craters on the surface of Venus. Look, false color image reconstructed from radar data. There's not a single picture that I've seen on Wikipedia, at least, that says it's an actual picture of the planet. Not one.
I don't think we have one. I really don't.
See, and I thought this was, because this was a 1979 picture taken by the Venus orbiter. So I thought, oh, this is a picture of Mercury. No, it's not. Look, cloud structure in the Venusian atmosphere. What?
You mean Venus? You said Mercury.
Did I say Mercury?
Yeah.
My bad. Venus. Thanks for correcting me there. I don't want people to think we're looking at the wrong planet. Yep. So yeah, this is Venus from the Venusian orbiter, and you'd think this is an actual picture, but it's not. This is revealed by observations in the ultraviolet band by the pi. So yeah, even they sent an orbiter there, and they're not even giving us an actual picture.
Yeah, something ain't right about that. They've got to be that way. They can touch up and take out anything they want before it gets, to us. That is, and something else. There's all the stars in space, and this is something that's bothered me from the moon landing too, because I've heard reports of airbrush at NASA, but you don't ever see a star behind any of these planets. They say it takes a while for you to concentrate the light to see, but you don't ever see a star behind any of these planets, ever.
Well, man, there's not just there's not what's called rumors or something of airbrushing from NASA. We actually have evidence of airbrushing from NASA. It's done all over the place. New Illuminati moon tower evidence. See, this is why people say things like NASA, there's towers on the moon, because something like this is they used to airbrush it back in the day and just say, look, there's some things we're not going to show you. So people see airbrushes like this and say, dude, why are you hiding a tower? We don't know what they're hiding. I mean, this was brushed up, so yeah, it looks like a tower. It could have been anything. But these are like the types of things, all these different images. You could just say to yourselves, it's all over the place. The airbrushing is everywhere.
I would have to absolutely agree. I did not know that it had been completely proven. I know that it was a fact to me, but I didn't know that it actually been like proven.
Oh, dude,
Because
we can take pictures.
The airbrush.
We can download pictures straight out from NASA's archives because they actually give them to us. You can actually go in and get them. You can download them straight off NASA and see these. And at first you say, oh, there's some problems in the image. That'll happen sometimes. No, there are so many instances of these. Now you ask yourself, why doesn't NASA just not show these images? Why does NASA show us stuff like this? Well, we have had a couple theories. We think that people at NASA want to get these images out. And when they upload, they just go ahead and upload them, or they just go ahead and try to share them. They try to, because NASA obviously keeps these. Now, I don't know why NASA would ever let these into the hands of the public.
You know, I don't either, because, you know, it makes me so mad, because NASA was supposed to be public funded. We are public funded. Our taxpayer monies do it, but we aren't allowed access to the real images of anything, and we're only given what they tell us to get.
Oh, for sure. It bothers you, man. It really gets to you. This is a reconstruction of what a base would look like on the moon, but it's taken because they have pictures like this. And then they go in and say, well, if we take this out and make it look like what it would really look like, this is what it would really look like. Now, we don't know if these are like alien bases or if they actually exist. These are just claims, but it's always good to, could be anything. And even this pyramid on Mars, this was real big.
Oh, we've got to do a whole show just on Mars artifacts. There's so many Mars artifacts out there.
See, what a lot of people asked NASA when they saw this pyramid on Mars, they said, please take more pictures of this area, because they had the rover there. They said, look, just take the camera back on it, because NASA said, nah, it's just a shadow play. And they said, well, cool, show us it's a shadow play. Just take more pictures. Show us it was a mess up. Show us that it's just a really geometric rock, and because of the way the shadow was cast, it makes it look like a pyramid. But that's what bothered a lot of these researchers. Conspiracy theorists point to the lack of follow-up photos of the pyramid on Mars, and conspiracy theorists use it as proof, because circumstantial data is how you build a case. It's how these things work.
Absolutely. And that's what we're presenting here, is a lot of different data that is circumstantial to a degree, but it's all verified data. We're leading somewhere with all this stuff. And something else I'd like to point out while we're in space here, the September 23rd alignment we've spoken of before, so I don't need to bring it up, but there's a very special alignment September 23rd, and within this alignment, we have the Red Dragon constellation.
Oh. So it kind of goes in line with the things we've been talking about.
Absolutely.
I've never seen this picture.
And one more point on this, and it's a fun little point. I want to bring up the gods of Mercury and the Greek and Roman versions for a minute before we close this out, because we pretty much presented all the evidence we had. But the fact of Mercury beginning at Quetzalcoatl and leading all the way up to a Mercury engine, and then a patent for what we clearly see could be a Mercury engine. And the only difference is one's called a Mercury Vortex and another's called a Quantum Vortex engine. But I believe it's based on the exact same idea. So the gods of Greek and Roman, for real quick, Mercury in the Roman is communications, luck, boundaries, commerce, poetry, things of that. In the Greek, it's Hermes, the god, the messenger, the god of communication. And the reason I bring this up real quick is because I was requested a while back to do a tinfoil hat of Hermes. And it was amazing, because when I ran upon this, I found it no better but the perfect time to do it. So guys, this is the Hermes hat. If you can tell, it's got the wings on the side for the messenger. Hope y'all like it. That was a special request from a viewer, so we not only did the hat, but actually ended up having a full story to go with it.
They also have something called a Vril engine.
A Vril? I've never heard of this. I know the Vril connection to the Nazis and whatnot, but I've never heard of this engine. What do you got?
Well, the Vril were like an ancient kind of magic-using people. And they were very spiritual. They grew their hair down to their feet pretty much, and they were said to be able to channel energy from space or communicate with beings from outside of our Earth, but inside of our universe. They were given information, and yeah, they were connected to the Nazis, but they were around way before that and all.
The Nazis were investigating them and their ideas and technologies. I knew that much.
Yeah, they kind of picked them up, but so some of these Vril engines, this is how they look, and you got something photoshopped right here, obviously, but there, it's not, this is the original picture. But yeah, these are just real drawn out, German-esque examples of they called it the Andromeda device. I forgot about that. It's right there, the Andromeda device.
I have heard that name before.
And it's just another example of a vortex engine that creates a electromagnetic field that allows a craft to defy gravity.
That is absolutely awesome. They had this type of technology back then, the idea for it. And again, this is not the first time we found the plausibility of having this technology in the ancient world. That's the most amazing thing about all this. All of this came from activities in the ancient world.
Very true. That's the key to all of this. It's not something new. It's not something that has just been created for sci-fi. I've been sent pictures like this in my email. I have so many diagrams like this. I'm trying to figure out whether they're real, whether they're fake, what it is about this.
I seen a release the other day. I guess I haven't verified that it's real, but I really believe it's real, about the TR-3B, the unofficial spy plane that the Air Force has. And this is a speculation plane that a lot of people claim exists. It's a triangle craft that uses an anti-gravity propulsion system. And there was a guy named Stephen Greer who did a disclosure thing, and one of his whistleblowers spoke of exactly how this propulsion system would be created with two magnetic plates. The theory is in two magnetic plates, but lined up around different variations could create a thrust and a propulsion and lift. Well, when this TR-3B information was released, it has exactly the same data that this gentleman presented years ago. So that's one reason I find it pretty legit. I've got to go back and verify the sources, though.
Well, yeah, and we know that a lot of these experimental crafts were tested. The thing that fascinates me the most about Mercury is if Mercury is said to separate people, separate machines from gravity, and we've gone through this theory a couple times, something that is separated from gravity is kind of taken out of our universe in a way. It's taken out of our space because time and space are relative to each other. That means that they're connected. To move through one, you have to move through the other. So if you can take gravity out of the equation, you're technically moving through space. I want to say without moving through time. Gravity is kind of what holds us to space. Well, it holds us to time too. It is our bound. It's how we are bound to space. It's how we are bound to time then, being relative. So taking yourself out of gravity, not only would you be taking yourself out of the space around us in a way, but you'd also be taking yourself out of time. And I think that's the key to not time travel, but instantaneous travel. And if you are traveling instantaneously, you are traveling through time. You're covering a lot of space in an instant. You're not being affected by time when you move there through that. It's like being able to move like light does without being composed of photons. Exactly.
Absolutely, yeah. Yeah, I think you just said it all right there. I don't even have nothing to add to that one.
Well, that's the ultimate place where this all goes. Now, if we have a machine that eventually becomes real, that will break the link between gravity and the machine, it will also do those things. It will break the link between that machine and time also. All right, guys, we've hit a lot. We got a lot done today, this morning. Darkwolf has to work in a little bit. I've got to go to work. As soon as I take a nap, I got to start getting videos put on the channel that I'm pretty much have finished up, and I got to make a couple new ones. We got to get ready for the live dive tonight. It's almost hitting 11 a.m. on the East Coast. We've covered a lot. We've covered a lot of time. We've done a lot of work. You guys know where to find Darkwolf. All you got to do is hit that sidebar over at Unirock, the channel that you're viewing right now, and you'll find Darkwolf's page. Darkwolf, give him a shout. Tell him something before we end this out.
All right, my Rockinati fans over there, the Unirock Rockinati fans, we're so glad to have everybody here today. All the ones in the replay, all the ones in the chat, y'all are the absolute best. If it weren't for you guys, we couldn't and wouldn't do this. Just the most innocent in so many different directions. You're absolutely wonderful. So we really, really hope you'll join us next time for the next Rockinati show. We hope you learned something today. I hope at least we stimulated your mind. You go and research and maybe come back and teach us something that even we missed. I'm Darkwolf's Den. Udi, what do you got, brother?
You know it, bro. And we will be hitting this up. Like I said, we're going to drop videos throughout the day after I take a little bit of a nap and rest up, get ready for it. We're going to drop videos for you. We're going to give you a chance to look at them. Then we're going to come in with a live dive. We're going to knock that live dive out early today because we're going to be on Doc Lupo's channel tonight. It's Thursday, right, Darkwolf? Is it Thursday today? I think it's Thursday already, guys. Uni streamed so much, I thought it was still Wednesday for a minute. You'll see me tonight on Doc Lupo's show at 9 p.m. No, 8 p.m. Eastern time. It's 7 p.m. Central. And after that, you're going to know that we're hitting that live dive hard. So I hope to see you guys at all those places because we pack up. We get all this content for you. We try to bring you an alternative to the TV. Instead of sitting down and letting yourself be entertained by mindless, commercial-laden television, we give you the option to skip your ads if you don't feel like watching them. We give you the option to have enough content to always have something to watch. That's why I do this so much. That's everybody says, man, that Uni dude is always doing this. Well, don't you guys have that need to have something to watch, have stuff there for you? In just my live streams, you're going to find great information and great conspiracies nonstop all the time, right?
Absolutely.
Oh, we're getting a bit of an echo. I think you dropped out and back in. Let me go ahead and turn your volume down because you're really, really loud. Oh, it's okay though. Wasn't your fault. All right. So, yeah, we have just in the replays a whole lot of content that you can go back and watch. It's all just like what you saw. Well thought out. Well, a lot of time spent in bringing the information. We do it different than everybody else on the tube. Yeah, some of the topics are the same, but we lead you different places. We link our conspiracies together using a lot of thought and getting this stuff done. Now, I want you guys to please check out Doc Lupo's show tonight. Please come back for the live dive. Check out the videos we drop. We know you might not get all to it today. That's okay. You've got enough time to catch up any other time. We're just happy that you're here. You guys are awesome. I thank you so much to my Patreon pledgers. We've got a lot in the works for you guys. We just appreciate everything you guys do. We'll see you soon on the live dive.